We earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy. In this program you will know what do we produce from recycled wastes, how people of Kazakhstan are encouraged to sort wastes, and what is trash art. Garbage collection and recycling is one of the most attractive sectors for investment and establishment of large and sustainable enterprises. Activities related to the production of recycled materials have all chances for success. The global market of goods which can be manufactured from domestic solid waste is currently estimated at more than $120 billion.
Отходы, как правило, это упаковка.
By waste, we usually imply food packaging, various things that we don't need, metal tins and plastic. All plastic is made of oil that we produced. We produce paper from wood. All the garbage that we discard are, as a matter of fact, valuable recyclable materials which can be used for the second time.
Попадает в наши мусорные ведра, это ценное вторсырье, используя которое мы можем вторично.
However, tire recycling remains a priority. Non-serviceable tires can be successfully used in fuel production and the cement industry. Only in the US, according to some estimates, there are about 2 billion used tires, which is equivalent to 20 billion tons of carbon. It is quite sufficient for providing a cement plant with fuel during 10 years. Recycled tires can also be used in the production of diesel oil and steel wire. In many countries, tires are transformed into rubber crump used for manufacturing of some sports goods, surfaces of tennis courts, stadiums, football fields, and elements of railway tracks. Rubber crump also enters into composition of asphalt. This technology not only improves road bed, but also allows companies to cut their costs, as secondary materials are usually twice as cheap as their new analogs.
Ну, допустим, та же самая крошка, резиновая крошка.
For example, rubber crumb made of road rubber costs 500 tenge per kilo.
Резина, сырая резина, 500 тенге за килограмм. Отходы стоят как бы, ну, копейки.
We can get 35 kilograms of rubber crumb from one truck wheel.
35 килограмм крошки. Вот и все.
So if we multiply 35 kilograms by 500, we shall get 17,500 tenge in profit. Because of that, recycled materials should be widely used.
Chingiz Rizbekov, a former successful businessman and TV host, understood 10 years ago that waste could be and should be converted in incomes and that the production of rubber crumb should be quite a profitable business. After putting together all his savings, he brought an abandoned farm in Almaty region and all necessary equipment. He was one of the first on the market of Kazakhstan who decided to recycle tires and manufacture ready-made rubber goods such as rugs and playgrounds. Several years later, Chingiz decided to expand the boundaries of his business.
In China, there is an interesting saying. 1 person at the market drinks cream, 10 persons drink milk, and 100 persons drink whey. We were the first in Kazakhstan who produced rubber crumb. At that time, I understood that when I was the only one at the market, I could drink cream. It was because I was a monopolist and I dictated prices. A couple of years later, other plants appeared and prices went down. So I had to drink milk. Nowadays, there are about 20 rubber plants in Kazakhstan. So at this time, we have to drink whey.
The next step in Chingiz's business was the production of green fiber from waste paper and creation of the so-called warm plaster on the basis of microspheres or small glass spheres contained in ashes. Chingiz tested his invention at home. He says that thermal conductivity of 1 centimeter of such insulation is equal to 1.5 bricks.
Вот пример применения теплой штукатурки.
Here is an example of the usage of warm plaster. This house is made of 20 to 40 centimeters split-faced blocks. Wall thickness is 20 centimeters. Here you can see a part of the block. From above, I applied a 5 to 7 millimeter layer of warm plaster and gypsum plasterboard from inside. As a result, I heat a 120 square meter house with a small coal stove. 1 bucket of coal in the morning and 1 bucket in the evening.
Currently, Chingiz's enterprise has a total of 40 staff. Among other things, the plant manufactures several types of warmth-keeping materials, for instance, from clay and foam plastic, or organic fertilizers from wood wastes. Businessman's future plans include focusing on compost production, expand the range of products from microsphere, start to manufacture stable yurts from glass armature and warm plaster. Interestingly, the last project has already been developed and its scale model has been already made.
Каркас – это стеклоарматура.
The carcass is made of glass armature.
Потом специальным агрегатом.
We put grid iron from above and then apply 2 layers of warm plaster. The common layer is about 3 centimeters thick. It is equal to 1 meter of bricks. Warm plaster has a very low thermal conductivity. After that, we cover it with water emulsion paint of different colors. We build such structures within 3 weeks.
Вот представьте себе, мы можем сделать размер ее до 20 метров в диаметре.
More than 5 million tons of domestic waste is produced in Kazakhstan annually. 90,000 tons of them are recycled. 5% of this amount is waste paper. It is used in production of cardboard, as well as for packages for various goods, juices, sweets, tea and many other things. Notably, people of Kazakhstan bring most of paper products to special reception stations, which are being opened in all parts of the country. The price of 1 kilogram varies between 10 and 50 tenge, depending on the type of the product. At the same time, disposal of waste paper, cardboard and books allows both earning some extra money and saving natural resources.
20,000 liters of water and 1,000 kilowatts of electricity allow to save production of paper from secondary materials. At the same time, carbon emissions are reduced by 1,700 kilograms.
However, residents of our country are encouraged to dispose not only paper but also plastic, metals, rubber and even household appliances. For this purpose, numerous reception stations have been opened throughout the country. 1 kilogram of electronic waste costs 170 tenge per kilogram and more. According to specialists, almost all office equipment is recyclable. It is valuable not only thanks to various mechanisms and metal goods. In some cities of Kazakhstan, plastic from discarded computers or washing machines are delivered to local blind associations where they are used for manufacturing of clothespins and hangers. Precious metals are extracted from electronic boards. Plastic is often used in the production of flax, which forms an integral part of padding polyester, which is successfully applied in heat insulations, filling of pillows, some sports goods as well as in asphalt laying. Along with that, the development of this secondary industry will positively affect the ecological situation. Experts think that polygons have turned into time bombs which cause harm to the environment and humans. Indeed, waste stored for years emit into air a high amount of toxic materials such as methane. In addition, large garbage sites are known as sources of infectious diseases and polluters of surface and groundwaters. The time of decomposition of paper in soil is from 1 month to half a year, and of plastic from 50 to 500 years. An aluminum can disappears within 600 years. Glass decomposes during approximately 1,000 years. Experts estimate that currently about 1,500 waste reclamation plants work in Kazakhstan. Another 500 enterprises specialize in recycling of plastic, metal goods, tires, paper, glass and so on. To ensure their full operation, people are encouraged to sort wastes. Housing areas are equipped with special containers, reception stations are being opened and people are even taught how to sort waste.
В нашей организации есть такое направление отдельное, как популяризация.
Our organization has a special department for the popularization of waste sorting. We deliver lectures to representatives of the business sector and, if they wish, help them to sort waste in their offices. Mainly this is collection of waste paper with its further disposal to recycling. In schools, we organize educational projects for children, open eco-clubs, play games and read lectures to children.
В рамках этого проекта «Эко-клуба» мы постоянно читаем лекции, ведем, рассказываем детям о том, как это важно.
Residents of Kazakhstan are still reluctant to sort waste. It raises the need of opening special waste sorting plants. The government plans to construct such enterprises in 17 cities of Kazakhstan and therefore increase the share of waste recycling up to 40% by 2030. Experts assure that the government's initiative alone is not sufficient for dealing successfully with the problem of waste. All we should be engaged in solving this issue. In fact, the more people will sort their waste, the lower will be the purchase price for materials necessary for production of different goods. Therefore, the commodity prices will go down. Newly established enterprises will offer hundreds of jobs and the production time of some goods will be reduced.
Одно дело, представьте, добыть этот пластик из нефти, да, то есть...
Producing plastic from oil and producing oil is one thing. Another is to have ready plastic at your disposal, which you need only to wash, granulate and resell. In other words, recycling is much cheaper than production.
Процесс вторичной переработки, чем процесс добычи.
Annually, humankind produces more than 2 billion tons of trash, or on the average, 200 kilograms per person. In countries with high consumption level, this figure even reaches 2 tons per capita. Because of that, all over the world, and especially in highly populated cities and countries, people gave serious thought to how to avoid turning the planet into a large dump. Thus, for example, in many European states, it is prohibited by law to discard rubbish which could be recycled. For example, in Switzerland, it is permissible to put into containers only food waste. In the meantime, discarding potentially recyclable resources is punishable by a fine. Therefore, residents of the country deliver waste paper, plastic, glass, clothes and metal to special sorting stations. In Finland, medicines with expired shelf life are not thrown into rubbish bin and instead of that are returned to pharmacies. Non-operational automobiles are delivered to service stations where they are dismantled. Several years ago, containers for old clothes and footwear were established in some European countries. These things are delivered to sorting centers where their fate is decided. They can be distributed among the poor or sent to recycling.
For example, population density in France is 116 people per 1 square kilometer. So why this issue in Europe is given so much attention? The truth is that they have no space to establish large polygons.
In Asia, like in Europe, the issue of rubbish sorting and recycling is still open. The problem is in its amount. Thus, China alone produces 300 million tons of waste, and this figure continues to increase. As a result, new recycling plants are being opened and people are encouraged to sort their rubbish. For example, special recycling machines were installed in many residential communities which convert food waste into fertilizer. The government of China also invents motivating methods. For example, after collecting several glass bottles and throwing them into a special machine, you can get a free bus ticket. In the US, the issue of waste recycling was raised even in the 19th century. Currently, 56 waste recycling plants are functioning throughout the country. Their profit exceeds $240 billion. However, there is also a risk to lose your money. Penalties for littering exist in almost all countries. For example, in Europe, the fine for discarding old furniture in the street exceeds 600 euros. But if you inform proper services about your intention to get rid of all your junk, it will be taken out for free. In some Asian countries, including Kazakhstan, the law prescribes not only penalty, but even several days of imprisonment for discarding waste in a wrong place.
Penalties for illegal dumping are different. In Germany, they vary between 35 and 600 euros. In Singapore, $1,000 and more, and in Kazakhstan, from $20 to $100. Along with manufacturers, artists, architects, clothing designers and sculptors also hunt for wastes. Trash art has already found its place in the modern world. Some masters combine it with shadow shows when light directed to a pile of junk in the right way creates very interesting expositions. Other craftsmen build entire sculptures and decorate municipal parks. Works of a well-known American artist, Lisa Hoke, are a good example. She collects solid waste of famous brands and makes unusual and meaningful installations which are exhibited by the most prestigious galleries of the world, while her pictures are evaluated at tens of thousands of dollars.